Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is a look at our market leading stocks for the coming session. This is going to be for Monday, June 19th, 2014. Had a pretty much of a do nothing day here after some movement yesterday. The Thursday, the week before options expiration, has been notoriously volatile, and today they're just kind of sitting there, I think, after shaking things up a little bit yesterday. So looking forward to more volatility again next week. But for now, we've got we're just kind of paired off with signals on both sides here without any kind of real bias. Got a volume bump in BlackBerry, also some pretty good movement there. Sinus got an upside RPS, but has very, very light volume. That one's extremely weak today. Nothing else is actually qualifying for an outright deviation here from the Nasdaq patch. Moving on to the financials, a lot of weakness and also volume in Citigroup. That one's real weak. Don't have a signal with that one though, unfortunately. There's also some good volume again today in Huntington Bancorp and a downside CPS there. Moving on to the energy names, BP's got a contra candle on a volume bump. Got an upside CPS in Devon, and that one's on fairly decent volume. And PBR also has some pretty good price action, and it's closing pretty strongly above the VWAP, as is Schlumberger today. So definitely the oil names are still in motion with the oil prices moving higher. The generals could probably classify this as a little bit of an upward bias for Monday. HPQ has a upside CPS condition. It's got an open close deviation and a volume bump, so real strong day there. Comcast has a downside CPS on OK volume, but look at the overall volume here is very, very light. Moving on to the housing names, no bias here. We've got a couple buys and a couple of sells, and no outright deviations. Transportations, after moving around yesterday pretty strongly, or just kind of resting today without too much to show for it. Everything's very, very tight to the VWAP, but those were very, very weak yesterday, so keep those in mind for a follow-through, as this is probably just a measuring day for them. And finally, on to the commodities. Definitely seeing more upward mobility in the gold shares. We're looking for that off of the scans for yesterday. Definitely seeing that today. We've got gold closing at the high. Newmont Mining is actually putting up an upside CPS again today, and most of the precious metals names are pretty strong. The only one to watch out for is ABX and Silver Wheaton. They're both putting in downside RPSs after having strong days and following through from our upside signals from yesterday. So could see a little downside on Monday for those. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.